Hey guys, welcome back to AFK Journey. In today's video, I wanted to have a chat about Lily May before she releases on the global servers and my thoughts around whether or not you should pull her. Now, obviously this is premature, but I wanted to get this video out because I've had so many people asking me how good she is, whether she's worth pulling. The truth is, we are testing her in the early game on the test server. No one's account is really maxed out to do the testing, so as always with these things, the most advisable thing to do is wait until we get some proper testing into her, and then we will know for sure. But I want to give you guys my general thoughts around her and how she is going to function in the quote-unquote meta so far. So the first thing is, I think everyone noticed that the main thing she has is her ultimate ability, having the passive at the start of battle, where essentially she can interrupt Irons. Another thing she can do is she interrupts what's his face, Birdman as well, with his one. That's a very minute thing for some campaign stages, but she can interrupt ultimates, and interrupting an Iron in PvP is going to be huge. Just note that I am going to test her at 1 copy first over on my main account, because I'm curious to see how much viability she has just to counter Iron on offense with 1 copy. I do think you are going to cripple yourself with using only 1 copy unless you have a really stacked rest of your team, because then you're basically going to be 1 unit down just to stop that first ultimate by Iron, which in some situations, like against Iron Almas teams, I do think that could have some good viability because you avoid getting that initial CC that they sort of rely upon with the Almas combo. So I do definitely think that she will be good at 1 copy, but I do think further investment is always going to be great for her to add on to the damage dealing capacity that she has. And in PvP, I do think she is going to have great damage dealing capacity, especially as the battle goes on and you can stack this, stack her passive. But once you get her to Mythic Plus and you can stack it quicker with buffing her, she gets some pretty decent damage. If you can stack these straight away and get that burst damage out on her first hit, like it can be some really big damage. So I'm curious. I will keep an eye out on her in PvP, and I will do some testing on her in PvP at 1 copy and then all the way at Supreme Plus once I summon her there, and get back to you guys on that one. So PvP, I think she's unless people find some way to cheese around her mechanic, or there's some crazy new meta that we don't know about, that when people bring her in to counter Iron, they bring something that counters her, which then also counters Iron's. Like, I don't see her not being good at PvP, but once again, always safe to wait. The next aspect is going to be bossing. Now, bossing, I do think she is going to be a bit of a force to be reckoned with over here. She just has really big numbers and she scales pretty hard. Now, I've been using her because she is my only mythic character, and everyone else on my team is low ascension. So you can see over here in my Snow Stomper, and this one she is doing pretty decent, but you can see here she is only level 85. I put the levels into my Florabelle because she is the one, Lily May is the one getting CC'd in this fight against the Snow Stomper, so she is in control half the time, and she is lower level than my Florabelle, who's obviously only at 1 copy, but she is doing pretty reasonable damage. So I think her boss damage is just going to depend on synergies, whether she can replace the raw damage of some of the other damage dealers. She does have movement and stuff for Necro as well. Curious to see if she slots in. But this one, honestly, I think she's got great damage. But the problem is with bossing, you really just need to see how she falls in to both whale meta and free-to-play meta as well. So I will update you guys on that one as well. I will be testing her a lot and watching the leaderboards across servers. So I'll let you guys know on that one. But once again, I do think she has potential. I don't think she's going to be horrible, but I don't know if she's going to be best in slot. That's what we will have to wait and see. But so far, her damaging potential is pretty promising. So moving on from that, we have the AFK stage side of her. So in AFK stages, she actually works better than I was anticipating. So you can see over here, now this is obviously early game, and I'll talk about new accounts and whether I think she's worth pulling on them as well in a minute. But I think the utility of her ability to cancel ultimates is going to make her a great tech pick in certain situations. I think she's going to go great in the wilder teams with the Iron comps, Iron Arden, Damien, and basically just slap her in, like even replacing, I don't know how well it will work. We'll have to see how quick things stack. But even if she replaces the Carolina in a cleave AoE team, even though she is single target damage, I think if she can snowball, then we can go pretty well with the buffs and stuff like that. So not too sure exactly what her best team will be. The other thought I had is maybe like a Staller type team where you ramp up all her buffs and then she nukes, maybe in a pure buffing team where everyone buffs her straight off the bat and she like one-shots something. I'm not too sure. In devs are pushing, I'm not too sure. We'll have to wait and see. But I just wanted to show you guys the value because I think in general, as a tech option in some teams where you've got really annoying ults, like the Beyblade dudes that just spin, she can just like, you can put it on manual, you can target that guy, and you're just going to interrupt his ult every time, and he just doesn't get to do it. So with annoying enemies, I think she's going to be a great counter for a lot of those things. But let's jump in here. I'll show you guys this one. So you can see like my power isn't, like I'm not at a massive deficit at the moment, but that's because of her ascension, obviously. If I put what my standard team is with the Rowan, you can see we're at 68 to 92, which is a bit more reasonable, but she does crank it up to 76. But I'm gonna chuck her in. She's at level 85. Maybe you put her max level because I really do like her damage potential. And the cool thing about her is that she just scales really well, and she's not entirely reliant on her Mythic Plus as well. So she's one of those characters that scales well throughout the game as you get more copies. The penetration you get on her hero focus is actually really nice too. So let's see this one. Okay, we dropped him pretty quick. Okay, our Brutus is down. That's not too bad. We should be okay a little bit here. Unfortunately, Coco's really slow on that ult, so that sucks. So here she goes, interrupting the Odie's ultimate. Now she's going to cast her ult again here, and then she's going to interrupt... Is it the Hue and Heal, maybe? The Huan's about to heal. Yes, so there you go. She interrupts that Hue and Heal, which is super clutch. So we're going to get that CC again. Dude, we're actually going to clear this. I actually tried this like 3 times before I started recording. Maybe I just needed to put her as the max level damage dealer. And there you go. Like that interrupt is super satisfying. If you put it on manual, you can choose who you're interrupting. And as you can see, keep in mind, she is a single target damage dealer. So I do like the amount of damage she's doing. Once again, she's mythic compared to a legendary Cecilia, but not too bad. I do think her with Florabelle would be better, but I've only got the single copy Florabelle, so it is what it is. Hopefully Florabelle gets added to the store, and but that's not going to be till new season. But yeah, you can get an idea with her interrupt. It is super handy to have. Let's go like that. And let's put you there so we can focus in the damage on the one enemy. Yeah, let's do it like that. Let's see how this goes. I'm not too sure on this. Let's see. Okay, we got him down. Yeah. Oh wait. This is only a 296 stage. So yeah, we're gonna be pretty easy clap on this one because low enemy power, but you guys get the gist. She hasn't had to interrupt an ult, but essentially what I find is she normally interrupts the first 2 ults of the battle because she's able to passively have it and then generate her energy, and then she basically just queues up. Here we go. Here's the Beyblade. Okay, perfect time to test this. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on manual. Now, hopefully the Beyblade is the first one that we need to interrupt. Oh, dude, the Beyblade died too quick. My bad. Yeah, if it was a harder stage, like the value in the Beyblade is great. The one thing where her interrupt sucks, and you do have to play on manual, in my opinion, is going to be when you're fighting against Damien, because she will interrupt Damien, and you don't get like the damage throughput of it or anything. And Damien's energy regeneration is just quick, so like it doesn't really have that much effectiveness. But in general, pretty solid across the board. Besides that, there will be a few things where she kind of cripples herself at, but in general, pretty nice. Okay, and she's a good one for these enemy Sylvanas to go ahead and target her, because she will just do her dash at the start, so she immunes it anyway, and those Sylvanas don't have their first hit on anyone. So if we go here, I'll show you what I mean. We go boom, and then she's already dancing around, and we've already killed that Sylvana because we have our 2 DPS just nuking her, and because she's got the advantage over the Sylvana, and she hits that hard, it's just like instant clap. So there she goes, she interrupts that ult. And then, dude, you can see the damage. Like, the damage is quite nice once she gets a few buffs into her and she starts dealing that damage. Like, once she stacks up her thingy-mabobby. It's pretty solid. It's pretty solid, not gonna lie. All right, let's check this out. We've got you to deal with. So, and the other cool thing that you can do with her is something like this. I can leave her in the front, And she'll go back there and she can sort of split the aggro, which is a weird thing, but sometimes it really works just having her up the front, taking some initial heat, just to split the aggro. Now the beam guy. Okay, I'm going to have to double tank this, so I'm not going to be able to do it with her. Because when I double tank, I still need to bring Cecilia. So you guys get the gist. I'm not gonna spend too long here because I think you guys get the gist of her in the early game. So basic summary. I do think she is finally going to be a hero worth summoning. Oh, we got a 10 pull. Let's pop this. We're only 20 to pity. Oof. Just pop this, see if we get some luck first. Like, this account has had dog shit luck so far. Dude, we cannot beat a pity. We've only beat one pity and it was for Vala. Oh my god, this sucks. Oh, we did beat her by 13 on pity. Okay, I got sidetracked into the Stargazer. So yeah, in general, I do think I anticipate that I will recommend her, but once again, I do recommend you guys wait until we have a bit of testing with her on global version. But I think she is going to be a fantastic unit, especially for PvP. I think she's going to shine there. She has burst single target damage, which is great for nuking someone. She's essentially going to interrupt your opponent's Iron. Depending on regeneration, she might interrupt the next ultimate or the one after that. She is really good at that control aspect side of things, and that burst damage she has. It's so nice, and I can't wait to see it with the Mythic Plus as well, how quickly she can burst something down. But I think her utility and damage are going to make her amazing in PvP. Once again, her bossing capabilities, it's too hard to tell. You've just got to slap it in and see the damage. I do anticipate high damage. Whether it's best in slot, we'll have to wait and see. And like I said, for AFK stage pushing, I think at worst, she's going to be a great tech unit for certain enemies that you hate. At best, she's just like part of a meta team because of that lockout being so powerful. But we'll have to wait and see. Once again, I recommend if you're on the fence and you're like not too sure, don't pull her. Even though I think she's going to be good, there is still that chance that she's just absolute trash and everyone goes, "What? Like, why would anyone pull her?" But holy shit, I've just got such an itchy trigger finger to pull. But I think just at bare minimum, PvP meta, she's going to be a thing. Now, as for new accounts, I actually don't mind the idea of pulling her. As you can see on this account, she does actually put in some work. And with new accounts, as long as you can get some of the staple heroes like Rowan and Brutus, before that, like, I mean, Brutus you can get from a 7-day login. Rowan you can get from the shop. So like, you can pretty much set up an account, and this allows you to target a character to get them ascended to a decent amount. And you only need 3 copies of her to get her to Mythic, because we do get a free copy. So I think even for new accounts, it's not optimal, because you are missing out on those A-level heroes as well because of the way the banners work and stuff like that. But I don't think it's like as bad as summoning for Vala at the global launch of the game. I think it's going to be okay. In general, if you want to go for her, she's fun and she guarantees you copies, because you could end up in that situation where you're like me and I've pulled 3 copies of Vala so far, and I accidentally pulled a second copy of Brutus because I'm an idiot. But you know what I mean? So if you can get a character that's kind of decent, and like I said, she progresses well with her upgrades, because if we look at her kit once again, she gets that interrupted base. She gets the burst at base, but obviously more ascension is going to give it more damage. Each normal attacker's skill grants her the XP. She gets this at base. And then once you get her to Legendary Plus, she starts getting the penetration. Mythic Plus, she can stack this faster and get more damage boost out of it. But you know what I mean? Like, she's not one of those characters that needs her Mythic Plus and Supreme Plus to function. But obviously, because she is a damage dealer, getting more damage is always going to help. But I do like the way she scales up with a new account. So that is my summary with her. Once again, be patient if you're really scarce on your resources and you're trying to time it, but she's looking pretty good. Anyway, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing the next one. Cheers.